For a long time, I believed that you should only travel far and only ideally. A flight on a plane, the most comfortable seats, a hotel that has everything both necessary and unnecessary. Everything should be comfortable, predictable, flawless, and if you are not sure that it will turn out perfect, it's better not to start at all. It is easier to stay at home, where every step is familiar and mistakes are simply impossible. But the question arises, why did I even think that my memories should consist only of flawless experiences? That is, yes, something that pleases is remembered, but what does an ideal trip with a sterile experience have to do with it? For example, if I watch a movie where the hero faces difficulties, this is the moment when it becomes most interesting. I begin to imagine myself in his place. I think how I would act in a similar situation, or I try to predict what the hero might do. But when it comes to my experience, it suddenly turns out that the memory box should be filled with neatly folded receipts, proof that everything went according to plan, without risks, accidents, and dead ends. How would any story from this box sound in this case, if I ever decided to tell it? I arrived at the place without problems, because everything was organized in advance. Everything worked as it should. I rested and left. So what? It sounds more like a technical description than a memory. Who even talks about their experience in which nothing happened? And the more important question is, how many other people's perfect stories can I remember? Not a single one. Will I remember my similar experience then? Unlikely. But on the other hand, can you really call a trip out of town for a couple of hours with a short walk in the woods a trip or an adventure? It's absurd. So for a long time I ignored small trips in favor of dreams of big trips. But it turned out that it is not the mileage, not the duration, not the exotic names, and not the number of stamps in the passport that are important, but the fact itself. I went beyond. No, not geographical, just beyond the usual, to find myself in a place where I can't act according to a template, where I don't need to plan, save, take a vacation. It's really true that in creating memorable moments, along with happy events, discomfort goes hand in hand. After all, you only have to go beyond the usual boundaries, find yourself in a situation where the autopilot is useless. and you need to start figuring out where to go, how to get there, how long to walk, how to get back, what kind of place it is, to see what you don't see every day hundreds of times. At this moment, the head starts working and remembering at the same time. So much so that one day stretches out in time and can feel longer than a whole week. I live not by seconds, but by events. And if I do the same thing many times, only the first event remains in the memory, and the rest, their time, seems to be erased from my world of sensation. It seems that discomfort does make an important contribution to the sensation of time, forming memories no less qualitative than happy moments. A deal end, a wrong turn, and in general everything that does not go according to plan, keys to be mistakes, sometimes it can even become a goal. How often does this happen in everyday life? Almost never, because there is a constant need to be an effective unit, not a person. Perhaps it is time to get off path, turn off expectations, just become curious. Stretch the time of this day, creating impressions, not plans. What is this if not a way to write your own plot, to find yourself and in a place where I don't know what will happen and cannot say in advance how I will react, and let the scale of this turn be ridiculous. Not all stories have to be about saving the universe, memories even more so. Yes, in the moment something unusual can irritate, but this is what later poops up in the memory. Wet socks, tired legs, a snack wherever possible. And it comes not as irritation, but as something very alive. How the car got stuck in the snow and your friends spit out. How you accidentally lost the trail and had to make your way through the wilderness to get back on it. A flat tire on a bike during the rain. All this doesn't feel very good, but it is remembered as something bright. Therefore, even an ordinary outing into nature becomes a great way to press pause. Not to understand, to start to understand, to see again what you don't see every day. To get off the road, to return or to find a new one. And thus to feel how the day slows down. This is the best place where no one can impulse anything on you. There is no advertising that expects you to act. There are no people, there are things that become necessary only at the moment you see them. Hear things, remain things. They don't turn into desires. There are no views and options. So I don't need to sell myself either. By choosing comfort, even instead of a micro-adventure, I choose to shorten my sense of time, my life. So this episode has come to an end. If you liked the episode, give it a like, write comments, and click the bell to be the first to know about the next episodes.